Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Ha, Racha, Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm the call Harab Ban Yasharala coming out of the Lions Den Camp, Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm out today. I'll be coming out a lesson. The title of this lesson is Yahawashi, the destroying stone. Because as you know, when Yahawashi comes back, he's going to take down these nations. He's going to take down the power structure. He's going to get rid of them to the point to where it ain't going to be nothing left. And then he's going to establish the true government, the righteous government upon this earth, which are Yasharala. And the government and the power is going to be on his shoulders, meaning he's going to be in authority and he's going to be leading the charge. But without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm going to start at Daniel chapter 2, verse 31. And this is, by the way, this was Daniel interpreting a dream to Nebuchadnezzar at the time. Nebuchadnezzar had a vision and he was troubled and he was seeking interpretation thereof, and his constituents couldn't do it. So the Lord rose up Daniel to tell Nebuchadnezzar what his dream meant. But let's continue. This is Daniel chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 31. This is, Thou, O king, sawest and behold a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. They're just talking about the four kingdoms at the time, which were the ancient Babylonian Empire, which is the head of gold, the breasts and arms of silver, which are the Persians and Medes, the belly and the thigh of brass, which were the Greeks, and then the legs of iron, the Roman Empire, and then the feet part iron and clay, which would be the revised Roman Empire, i.e. America. Just to make that clear. Let's continue. It says, this image's head was of fine gold, and his breasts and arms of silver, his belly, his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part clay. And it's just talking about at the time these four great kingdoms that will come to rule in their times. Verse 34, which are the ancient Babylon, Persian Medes, the Greeks, the Roman Empire, then the revised Roman Empire, i.e. America. Verse 34. Let's start back at 33. It says, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part clay. It says, thou sawest till a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. So this stone that is talking about is Yahawashi. He is that stone that was cut out without hands that smote the image upon his feet, meaning Yahawashi is that destroying stone that's going to come and he's going to take down these nations. He's going to destroy their power structure. He's going to get them out of the way and move them. He is that destroying, Yahawashi is that destroying stone. Verse 35. Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, meaning they're going to be destroyed. The Lord is going to take them down. He's going to plead with the nations, as it says in the scriptures. I can't call it off the top of my head, but it says the Lord is going to plead with all nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment, and he's going to plead with them there. And while they're fighting their war, Yahweh is going to come and really, really put the screws to them. But again, it says, then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, meaning these four great kingdoms will be taken down. and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. Became like chaff, and you know, if you're harvesting wheat, wheat have this papery husk on it, and whatever they do, they thresh it, and that makes that husk come off, and then the wind takes it and blows it away. So they're gonna become like the chaff of the summer threshing floors and carried away with the wind, meaning they're gonna be destroyed. They're not gonna be anymore. And it says in no place was found for them. So once the Lord come take these kingdoms down, there's gonna be no place found for them. And there's not gonna be any more these kingdoms of these heathen nations rising up and ruling the earth. But again, it says, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors, and the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image, Yahawashi, smote the image, i.e., these kingdoms, the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. Became a great mountain. Yahawashi is that stone that's going to become a great mountain and fill the whole earth, meaning the Lord is going to come and he's going to establish his kingdom on the earth, and he's going to establish it in righteousness. And Yashar Allah, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're the ones that's going to fill the whole earth, and we're going to fill it what? With righteousness. Real quick, let me go to Isaiah chapter 9. This is Isaiah chapter 9. Verse 6. It says, for unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now this child that's going to be born is talking about Yahawashi, our Lord, our Savior, our big brother. And the government, i.e., the power structure of the new world to come, is going to be on his shoulders, meaning he's going to be in authority. He's going to be in leadership, and he's going to be sitting on his throne. He's going to rule right here on the planet Earth, contrary to popular belief. You know, people want to think that the kingdom of heaven is going to be somewhere up in the sky, and no, it's going to be right here on the earth. And that's going to be the Lord setting up Yahawashi and setting up the government of Israel around the four corners of this earth, and having righteousness rule forever, i.e., being that great mountain, that stone that turned to a mountain that filled the whole earth. Verse 7. And the Lord is going to be called Wonderful. He's going to be called a Counselor, the Mighty Power, because Yahawashi is a God. He is a power. You know, it's the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. These are titles for Yahawashi. Verse 7. Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. So of the increase of his government, i.e., the power, his power structure, his rules and regulation and peace, there's going to be no end upon the throne. This is no end, and upon the throne of David and his kingdom, to order it, to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth forever. The zeal of the Lord Yahweh of hosts will perform it. So once Yahweh shall come back and establish the kingdom, righteousness is going to be established forever. And it's going to be established with judgment and righteousness from henceforth forever. And this is the zeal of the Lord Yahweh. And he's going to perform this thing, because while the Lord spoke it, and it's going to happen. And to us a child shall be born, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, meaning the power structure. The foundation is going to be upon his shoulders. The Lord is going to be leading the charge. He's going to be in authority. Let's go back to Daniel real quick. Let's go back to Daniel chapter 2. I'm going to jump down to verse 44. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven, which is Yahweh, set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, And the kingdom shall not be left to a other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. So there you go. In the days of these kingdoms ruling right now, the Most High is going to set up a kingdom. He's going to set up Yasharallah, which shall never be destroyed. And who is he going to spearhead that with? Yahawashi. The kingdom is not going to be destroyed. It's not going to be left to other people. Meaning these other heathen nations ain't finna be popping up, ruling, talking about, oh, it's our turn to rule. We finna get in power. Ain't finna be none of that. It's not going to be given to any other nation. Yasharallah finna rule forever under Yahawashi. And it says, and consume all these kingdoms. Meaning, ain't finna be no more of these wicked kingdoms like we've been seeing. Lord is gonna destroy them, get rid of them. And our kingdom is gonna stand forever. Verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God, the great power, Yahweh, hath made known so like to the king, what shall come to pass hereafter, and the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure. So this was a vision that the Lord showed Nebuchadnezzar. And the Lord was just showing basically like all these kingdoms are going to get taken down. And this is for sure and certain to happen. So Yahawashi is that destroying stone. He's going to take them down. Let's go to Psalms 118 real quick. There we go. And because Salakia. Anyways, like I was saying, Yahawashi that stone which the builders refused. This is Psalms 118:22. The stone which the builders refused is become the head stone of the corner. This is the Lord Yahweh's doing. It is marvelous in our eyes. So Yahawashi is that stone which the builders refused, meaning when Yahawashi was here on this earth and he came to do the will of the Heavenly Father Yahweh and to preach this truth and to preach this word, the builders, i.e. these 2/3 of our people, these wicked scribes and Pharisees, they chose not to listen. They rejected the stone. And now that stone, which is Yahawashi, has become the head stone of the corner. He has become the leader. So when Yahawashi get back, he finna destroy these kingdoms. And with that, Shalom.